we have seen what a vast ocean dharma is, and that dharma is sanatan, it is eternal. It has always existed. It is not something we created a few hundreds or a few thousands of years ago. It has always existed, and it exists to protect and nourish. And today we are blessed to be alive in this land which has been protected by this great dharma, and this land which has protected the dharma. It is said, dharmo rakshati rakshita. Protect the dharma in order to be protected by the dharma. Our forefathers, our ancestors had valued the importance of dharma and taken all effort possible to protect the dharma against the invaders. That is quite evident, because this is the only country, this Bharatavarsha, what is remaining of it as India and Nepal, are the two places or the two countries in the modern world where the continuity of dharma had been preserved, so that you and me can be protected by it and enjoy it and use it. Looking at the modern day India, India has gone through various invasions. Despite that fact, our forefathers, our ancestors have risen against it or risen above it and stayed true to the precepts of dharma. And that is what the freedom that we enjoy in this country today. Our freedom was not brought to us by somebody from the outside. Our freedom has been given to us, has been handed down to us by our dharma. And by valuing that dharma today, we will continue to exist in that freedom in times to come. Only when somebody who does not understand this come in and try to make us all escape, we suffer. But we must always fall back, take refuge in our dharma and enjoy the freedom that it has equally granted to all its children. Every person is granted that dharmic freedom. Nobody is discriminated against. When in this part of Bharatavarsha invasions were a reality, there was a tiny land above Kurukshetra, protected by the forests and the vast Himalayan range, which guarded it against the invasion of foreign thoughts outside of dharma. That land is called Nepal. our immediate neighbor, India and Nepal, shares an open border, thousands of kilometers of open border. Brotherhood, sisterhood exists between these two nations. Both are great nations irrespective of the sizes. Brotherhood and sisterhood shared by one common heritage, one common culture, with various expressions protected by the Sanatana Dharma, exists on both sides of these borders. We have existed peacefully for centuries, for generations, and we exist peacefully even today. India has the vast experience of protecting Dharma in times of invasions. Nepal was never invaded, so it lacks this particular experience of guarding the Dharma. Today, we have an English word called secularism. We think it is a new concept because it talks about everybody enjoying everything. We have discussed this earlier, that an ocean does not discriminate against anybody, but at the same time, an ocean doesn't have the ecosystem to protect something that chooses to stay outside the ocean. Sanatana Dharma is that ocean. Anything that is part of it is always protected, is always nourished, is always nurtured. And when something looks at it from outside with a limited vision, it is thought of as another narrow thought. It is not a narrow thought. So today, modern day Nepal is plagued by this problem because of the limited landlocked nature which protected it once from invaders. Today, it has become the land of invaders. That protected system is now open to everybody. And world today has become modern. Technologies are everywhere. And those who never used technology earlier, when they suddenly have access to it, thinks in terms of what that technology brings to them without knowing the real value of the heritage. So this is the time what India faced thousands of years through armed invaders. Today, our brothers and sisters in Nepal are facing that, not through armed invaders, but through people who come offering the same solution of honey and milk. So this is a country which shares the same dharma, that same Sanatana Dharma, just as every individual in India enjoys. We must not stop ourselves from sharing this blessing and abundance we have with our brothers and sisters who are living in Nepal. Otherwise, like I told you in the story of the fox who made the sheep bleed in order to relinquish, in order to enjoy their flesh, is always out there waiting just to come in. India and Nepal should never become these two fighting sheeps or fighting goats, irrespective of our sizes, because the moment that happens, only the fox, the cunning fox, is the only winner. Neither of us are going to win, because there is nothing to win here. What we have are simple disputes, probably, because we have not yet fully aligned to the transition and the way of existence today. Once we align it and we share, we learn to share, and we learn to support each other, we can protect the common heritage we have, that is Sanatana Dharma. We must always focus on that. We have been working for many years in the land of Pashupati in Nepal, among the villages, in villages. We have seen how the lack of certain things which modernity has brought along has been exploited by people who do not understand the vision or the vastness or the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. They come offering escapes in the form of names, in the form of money, in the form of opportunities. The vulnerable, the gullible are always taken away, only never to return. Because those who go, what happens to them? They are lost. And one person lost becomes a series of events. We must not forget these facts. Invaders does not always come with arms and ammunitions. They also come with modernity. Every time we have to be alert and conscious about it, alert and aware of it. So we must not make any attempts that can convert or transform our disputes into something larger than that. We are one, we have always been one, and we will continue to be one while remaining as two different nations. We should not forget this. Namah Shivaya.